And hello, everybody. Welcome back to Shape Up session number 23. If you've been following along all this time, that's great. I'm so proud of you. And thank you so much for doing so. All right, guys, so let's get started with our warm up. So we're going to bring those feet hip width apart. We're going to do the functional movement with the arm to the side and everything. So nice big lift up. I want you to reach through this leg here, right up onto those toes. You're pivoting into that foot, and we're going to aim for 10 repetitions on that. So we've got 3 here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10. Nice big stretch. All right, so let's bring that into a stationary lunge. So what I'm going to have you do is just step that leg back. So we're actually stretching into this hip here. And what I want you to think about doing is squeezing this glute. So that hip is just sort of popping a little bit forward. We're going to bring the arms overhead. I'm just going to have you take a big stretch here that you're going to feel that a little bit more facilitated stretch into the glute. And then bring the arms down to what I call cactus arms. And then we're going to take a nice big stretch to the side for 1 and 2. And then we're going to reach across the body, getting into that spine and core. And again, we're just going to repeat that. So nice big lift up, squeeze that glute, bring the arms down, reach for 1, 2, then back and reach 1, 2, and then one more time. So big reach, squeeze that glute, coming back into cactus arms, nice big stretch, 1, 2, and then reaching across, 1, 2. So my movements are slow and controlled because I want to feel the body move through those stretches. I'm taking a check in on myself to see where I'm at. So you have to do the same too. So bringing the opposite leg back, we're squeezing into that glute. And that's a big reach up again. So nice stretch now on that opposite side. And then arms come to cactus arms, and that's a reach over, 1, 2, and then a reach 1, 2, and again up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then nice big reach up again. Bring the arms to cactus arms, reaching over, 1, 2, and then 1, 2. Okay, so bringing that, stepping out of that movement, we're going to bring the left foot forward and the right leg back. We're going to pump that heel up and down, stretching into the back of that leg. So just remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. For a couple more. And then changing it over to the other side. So pushing that heel to the floor, nice big lift up for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so stepping the feet nice and wide, we're going to sink into the movement. So moving side to side. Now, if it's easier for you to hang around up top here on those upper thighs, that's great. If you want more of a stretch, you're going to fold forward into it and really bend into those knees as you move side to side. So sinking into the joints here. And it's breathing, a couple more breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. All right, so we're just bringing that back to center. Let's walk the feet in. So we're in that forward fold position, and we're just gonna round up the back a little bit, keeping the knees nice and soft, just coming up nice and slow. So again, we've got that head below the heart, so you definitely wanna roll up nice and slow just to get everything to sort itself out so that you don't feel dizzy. Okay, so standing nice and tall here. Now we'll take a big stretch here through the legs. So drawing the heel in towards the glute. And just remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. And you're switching side to side. For a couple more times here. Big stretch up. Okay, one more on each. All right. Good, and rest. Okay, so we're gonna bring it into the arms, nice big stretch up and down. So reaching towards the sky. And then even maybe on this one, what you wanna do is come up onto your toes as you stretch it up. Still really focusing on that balance. And then opening those arms. So just hugging yourself, as I like to say. Give yourself a big hug today for showing up and working out. All right. I want to finish off with one more balance stretch. So we're going to focus just on the leg swings forward and back. So let's get the arms in there too. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we'll just change it over to the other side. So nice big lift up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, guys, nice work on that. Okay, so we're going to move into our cardio warm up next. So just making sure that your space is nice and clear. And we're going to start off first with the high knees. So moving into high knees, you've got your low impact movement. I really want you to get those big arms in there. And then we've got the high impact movement where you've got your jumps in there. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit in between, just go a little bit quicker with the lower impact movement, okay? That'll bring you more to a medium level. Okay, so we're gonna do 8 exercises, 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. Let's get ready. Okay, so here we go. So pumping that out nice and strong, whether that be in that low impact movement, okay, or you've got that high impact movement. And then just remember to breathe when you're doing those movements. Don't hold your breath. Okay. Okay, so coming up next, we're going to do some cross-country arms and legs, as I like to call them. So I'll give you the low impact and the high impact. Okay, so here's our low impact movement, and then we have our high impact movement. And here we go. So switching arms and legs. So it's kind of like, it looks like that cross-country movement as you're doing it. Or maybe you don't do it. And that's fine too. Okay, and then coming up next, we're going to do some toe taps to the front. So we have the high impact, we've got the low impact on there. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for that low impact movement, we've got a little bit of speed here, or we've got the jumping movement. Okay, so here we go. Let's pump it out nice and strong. Okay, and then after this one, we're going to be doing squats. I'll show you the low impact variation and the high impact variation. And just always remember with those high impact variations, you want to keep always the soft joints, never lock your joints out in those movements. You definitely don't want to be impacting the ground with a locked knee. Okay, so we've got the low impact movement. And then we have the higher ones, which is the jumps. Okay, so, and begin. So with that one, what I would recommend if you're looking for something a little bit less, just do less power jumping. So a little bit more like tiny hops, but you're very, very bent in those hops. So you're keeping a very soft joint. So it'll be like little squat hops. Okay, after this one, we're gonna do some skaters. Oh, there's so many variations of skaters. I like this one. Okay, so for that higher impact one, that would be a leap to the side and getting that leg crossed behind. Okay, and then you've got the step across, the steps. Okay, so you can do the stepping for the lower impact, and then the higher impact, you'd be doing the jumps. Okay, and then coming up after this one, we've got the football shuffle or fast feet. So we have 3 sets left after this one. We're at that halfway mark for 8, the 8 sets total. Okay, so football shuffle. You can go wide, you can go narrow, wide, narrow. Okay, and then with this one, you can definitely use speed to crank it up and then just lower the speed to keep it low impact. All right. So we have jumping jacks next. So we've got the different variations for that. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here's our high impact. And then we've got our low impact movement. Okay, so get ready. Here we go. So nice and strong, guys. Okay, and then after this one, we're going to do some jumps side to side. So we're going to be doing a lateral movement. Okay, so 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so little side to side hops. Okay, so now for this one, you would do it quicker for more intensity. Okay, bring it down a lot for less intensity, so little hops, slower movements. Okay, or alternatively, stepping side to side. Okay, so a few different options there to work with. And this is the last set on this round. And then we're going to move into a nice big leg program to start it off for today. Okay, so let's take a rest, guys. Nice job on that. I'm going to grab a drink. You grab a drink too. Okay. Okay, so for the first exercise, now with this series of 10 exercises, we're going to go for 40 seconds of work and 15 seconds of rest. And then you can integrate dumbbells into the program as much as you want for this one. So toes are out. We're going to squat down. In sumo, nice big lift up. So in sumo, nice big lift up. Okay. So I'm just going to adjust our timer here. So we have 10 exercises, 40 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest, and let's get ready. Okay. All right, so lowering down, pushing up, pushing through the heels of those feet. So up and down, nice and strong, really focusing on keeping the abs nice and tight as you do the movement. So just remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. And then after this one, we're going to be doing alternating lunges. Alternating lunges. Okay, so with or without the weights is great, whatever you want. 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so lunging forward, coming back, changing sides. Lunge forward, come back, change sides. So nice big push off. Now I'm quite particular about these movements. So when you're coming into that lunge, then I really want you to focus on pushing back through the heel of your foot. So don't push through the toes. That puts a lot of tension into the knee. And especially when you land in a lunge, don't shift your weight into the toes, because sometimes they always lift the heel off a little bit, which tells me they shift to the toes. So that again too, that can push, just put a little bit more tension into the knee and feel some discomfort. Okay, so after this, we're going to move down to the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so coming into all fours, we're going to bring that knee up and then extend out behind you, squeezing into that hamstring. So abs are nice and tight, focusing on distributing the weight between the two palms and the knee. And to breathe. Now, don't hold the breath. You're working all that one side first, then we'll change it over to the other side. So just remember to keep the abs tight. Try not to let the hips tilt to the one side. So 9 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so other side, we're going to bring that knee up, extend the leg, curl it back in, extend the leg, curl back in. So just remember to breathe out. And again, really focusing on keeping those abs nice and tight, guys. Don't let the abs just, waver in the wind. Try to keep a nice, good contraction in there so that you're engaging them. Okay, and then after this one, we're going to still stay on the mat. So I'm going to work myself down there while you guys are finishing off that set. We have 10 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so bending at the knees, we're going to gently lift the soles of the feet up towards the sky, bringing the quadriceps off the mat. So it's just a little movement here. So you really want to feel like you're engaging those glutes. So squeeze those glutes to help lift the front of the thigh from the mat. Okay, so it's actually connecting your mind with those muscles on that one. That's a hard one to do. And then also you're going to feel that into the lower back area. Into the lower back. Okay, so then after this one, we're going to come back to our feet. We're going to do some knee knockers, and you can do that with or without weight as well. So like I said, you can use weight as much as you want in this program. Okay, so maybe holding a dumbbell at the chest here, and we're going to do some knee knockers in and out. Slow and controlled, so it's not quick. I don't want a fast movement. I just want it nice and controlled, knees in and out. Okay, so you're feeling that working through the outside thighs, you're feeling that into the inside thighs. So just nice and controlled. Now, some people, some of my members, they also have these types of bands. These are great for thigh work as well. So you just bring that up around the knees and you've got that work in there. And some of the work that we do on the mat too, we use the bands for the glute work, which is really great. Okay, so coming up next, we're going to be doing some curtsy lunges. So alternating these. Okay, so maybe a dumbbell here or 2 at the side, but we're going to curtsy back and then just changing over to the other side. So changing it over. Okay, so from my side view, just to see what that looks like, it would be here. Bring it back. Let's actually step out a little bit so that you can see my leg. So here and then here. So if you see the leg steps on an angle, so when you're looking at that position, it draws back slightly on the angle behind you. Okay. Coming up next, we're going to be doing some lateral squat steps. So we have 3 sets left. We have one full movement and then one unilateral. Okay, so side step, we're gonna squat down. Side step, we're squatting down, side to side. Okay. So when you're doing this one, you're just taking that giant step to the side, and then we're coming a little bit narrow with our foot stance. So kind of like a skier squat, and then you're squatting down. So again, just work with your comfortable range of motion on that one, and just think about driving those hips back as you do that. Chest comes forward a little bit to counterbalance between your back end and your front end. Okay, so after this one, we're doing a unilateral movement. So one side first. Okay, so side lunge, and then we're gonna swipe it across. So it's a fluid movement. So I plant that foot, then I drive it across, plant that foot, and then drive it across. So nice and strong, guys. Okay. Okay. So we're doing all that one side first, and then we'll change it over and we'll do the other side. So 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so changing it over to the other side. So resting first and then working that other side. 4, 3, 2, 1. So stepping to the side, bring it across. Side, bringing it across. All right. Okay, so then after this, we're going to take a rest, and then we have a nice big program to follow up with this one to do today. So this one's we got full body going on. All right, so 10 seconds. So we have a little bit of weight training in this one. It's mixed. All right, good job, guys. So let's rest up. Nice work on that. So we have 16 exercises next. This is going to be a combination of core, definitely some arms in there, and a little bit of the lower body, but not too much because we just did a whole bunch. So the first exercise we're going to work on, this is a full body. So I'll give you a couple different variations to work with on this one. So standing nice and tall, we're going to inchworm out. So bending down, walking forward, coming into plank. Now here, plank could be just perfect. And then all you do from here is just walk it back and then stand straight up. So a couple options to make it more intense if you like. You can inchworm out. You can add in a push-up on or off the knees if you want. You can even add a jump out. So you guys should know that one by now. If you've been following along, your jump outs would look like this, or your step outs. Okay, so if this one just does not work for you, that's fine. You can even just work it from the knees. You could just roll it forward, bring it out into a plank from the knees, really working on the form for that one, and bring it back up. Now, if planks do work, pretty good, but the whole bending forward, walking it out, you can just do the bending forward here, coming into plank, maybe do a knee tap 1, 2, and then lower back down, and then walk it back up. Okay, so any variation is fine. We're just gonna work on core movements here. All right, so we're gonna bring it to 16 sets. I'm gonna keep you at 40 seconds of work and 15 seconds of rest. Okay, so let's get ready. Okay, so here we go. So we're just working through any of those movements that feel good. And just remember to breathe. Don't hold the breath. Okay, so almost there now. And then after this one, we're going to be focusing on some shoulders. So in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so knees are bent. We're going to fly the arms to the sides, breathing out as you lift, keeping the knees nice and soft. Abs are nice and tight. So big lift. Okay, so here we go. Let's pump it out nice and strong, guys. All right. Then after this one, we're going to actually make our way back down to the mat again. We're going to do another, it's more like upper body strength using our own body weight and some core work. So I'll give you the sample from the front view here just to see. Okay, so any style of plank first, okay, any style, then you're going to push through the one arm, extending, and then lowering back down. So just remember to switch it over. So you're moving from left to right and right to left. Don't push all with the right side. Okay, and I want it to be more of a slow and controlled movement as opposed to like a power quick movement if we were doing it sort of in a cardio pace. So keeping the abs nice and tight. And again, too, like when I say any planking style, that can be in the box push as well. Okay, and it also can be from the knees. Okay, so from the knees. Okay, so just remember to breathe. Don't hold the breath here. Okay. Okay, so coming into bicep curl, so palms are facing forward. Nice big lift up on this one, breathing out. So abs are nice and tight as you do the lift. Okay, so let's pump that one out. Okay, and then as you're working those biceps, after this one, we're going to move on to do the box squat. So we're going to be focusing on an imaginary box, and we're going to be integrating the squat into that box. Okay. Okay, so with or without the weights coming up. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so side step, squat down, front step, squat down, side step, and then back step. And then starting again. Okay, so just remember with that lateral side step, it's a step, not a lunge. So you're stepping to the side, you're not lunging to the side. Some people get confused, they do that, just do a lateral step to the side. Okay, then after this one, we're gonna boogie on down to the mat. We have 2 exercises down there that we'll stick with. We've got a chest press with a bridge movement coming up, and we also have a tricep extension movement. So 4 seconds. Okay, so starting off in that bridge movement, we're bringing the hips to the sky, and then we're gonna work the dumbbells over top of the chest, breathing out as you lift up. So really engaging those glutes. So here we go, let's pump those out nice and strong. Now, a couple things I want you to pay attention to here is really focusing on pushing through the heels of the feet, engaging the hamstring, squeezing the glutes. So lifting those hips up, don't let them sag down in the movement. Alternatively, you could just rest on the mat and do the chest press up and down, or even maybe bring feet to the sky to engage the lower abs. Okay, and then we're gonna stay on the mat for the next one. Okay, so we're gonna come into tricep extension, really focusing on pointing those elbows up towards the sky, and then nice big extension here, breathing out as you lift. Okay, so in the past, I've talked a lot about making sure that those elbows drive up towards the sky, and then as you lift your arm, they still stay stationary here as you lift. So you're not driving the elbow forward when you lift. So sometimes that happens just because it's a mistake, or if the weight is too heavy and you need to lower the weight. So pay attention to that movement. Okay, so after this one, we're going to come up to the feet. We're going to do some one-legged deadlifts. Okay, so this is a harder movement because we're integrating balance, and then if you throw the weights in there, which is an option, it can be a little bit harder as well. So folding forward, extending that leg out behind, toe tap to the back here, lower down, toe tap, lower down, toe tap. Now, a couple things you're working on here is making sure that you're really extending through the upper body and through that leg. Okay, so extending really through that upper body and that back leg. So lengthening the spine, really creating some space between the vertebrae. The crown of the head is coming forward in that movement. Now, also too, you can find a focal point on the floor to help you with the balance. So keeping an eye on the floor, finding a spot. Okay, now changing over to the other side. And again, you can even lower the weight, or maybe not use the weight if you don't want, if you find it too distracting. But too, I always encourage to use the weight to challenge yourself. Okay, so you're feeling that nice stretch in the back of the leg as you fold forward into that movement. So we're going to stay standing for the next exercise. We're going to work on the posterior delts. Posterior delts. So just remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. Let's keep it going nice and strong, guys. Don't give up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so folding forward, bringing the arms in front. We're going to do a nice big lift up. And just remember to breathe out as you lift. Breathing out as you lift. Okay, so here we go. Now, just remember with this one, we've talked about it many times in the past. If you've been following along, making sure that the arms come forward and you can see the arms or the palms in the peripheral parts of your vision. Keeping the abs tight in that bent over position. You can also do this in a seated bent over position as well, guys. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, planting those feet, knees are bent. Nice big lift to the front of the body with the dumbbells. So from my side view, it's a nice big lift here. Extending those arms. Okay, so this exercise, sometimes you're gonna feel like a little momentum or swinging. Just make sure that you keep that swinging under control. So basically what that means is when you're lifting the dumbbells, the natural intention is to kind of move or swing forward, but really focus on keeping the feet planted, the abs nice and tight. That's a big part of it. And then really just focus on the lifting through the front of the shoulder here, front of the shoulder. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do some shoulder presses next. So let's bring the dumbbells to the sides of the body here, and then we're going to press over the shoulders. Now, from my side view, You want to make sure that the arms are going straight up above the shoulder. A lot of the time, sometimes people are pushing slightly forward. So make sure that you correct that movement. That has a lot of sort of instability there to do that. So just keep it directly over the shoulder where your most stable point is. Okay, pumping that out nice and strong, guys. You guys are doing amazing. We have 4 sets left after this. Okay, so we're gonna do another tricep exercise. So let's cup the dumbbell so it just looks like this. And we're gonna bring it behind the head. Okay, and we're gonna just come into a split stance and we're gonna raise that dumbbell up and down here. Okay, so from the side view. Okay, so nice big lift up and down. And just remember to breathe out as you lift the dumbbell up towards the sky. Okay, so after this one, we're gonna hit up the mat for the last few exercises. We're gonna just focus on the core movement, and then we're gonna cool it down after the core. Okay, so 4 seconds left. Okay, so laying flat on your back, let's draw the soles of the feet together. We're gonna do an abs here, or abs sit up. A nice big lift, breathe out. And back down, breathe out. And back down. Now, if you can, and you want this one to be just a little bit more intense, you can do the full sit up, palms towards the front of the mat, lowering down with control. Breathing out. All right, so pump those out nice and strong, guys. Three, two, one. Okay, let's come into V-sit. We're gonna move side to side, and you can integrate a dumbbell with this one if you like. So Russian twist, sometimes is what it's called. V-sit with rotation. Boat pose in yoga. How can one exercise have so many names? All right, so just rotating side to side. And then because you're in that leaning back position, you're gonna feel that into the abdominal wall here. Okay, and also into the lower abs. So working that out nice and strong. And then we're gonna finish off coming up with a back exercise on the mat. This is gonna be a combo movement. So I want you to pay attention to my movement when I do this one and explain it. Okay, so you're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so 2 pumps on each side. 1, 2. Then lift the toes and draw the arms to the sides, palms face down, and then back to 2 pumps. 1, 2. 1, 2. Arms. 1, 2. Remember, it's opposite arm and leg, guys. And then down. Then pump 1, 2. 1, 2. Then pull down. All right, so just paying attention to the form and the movements on that one. Okay, so then after this exercise, this brings us into a cool down. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, nice work. Now let's grab a quick drink. Let's rest it up. And then we're gonna cool it down together. Okay, so coming into that with the legs extended out in front, I'm just gonna get you to fold forward, stretching out the lower back here. And of course, the hamstring muscles. And just remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. And then we'll just, we'll walk it back. And then we'll draw the soles of the feet together, sitting up nice and tall, relaxing the knees to the sides. Good, and then extending the legs out. We're gonna bring the right one over the left. I'm just gonna get you to hug that knee in. And just remember to breathe and don't hold the breath. And then let's change it over to the other side. And then we'll give it a rest. And we're gonna stretch out the glutes. So bringing those legs out in front, we're gonna cross the right one over the left. I'm gonna get you to bend your left knee. Try to relax the right knee open as much as you can. And so just remember to breathe and don't hold the breath. And then we'll change over to the other side now. Okay, so try to relax that left knee as much as you can, stretching into that hip and glute. And then we'll just rest here. Okay, so let's turn it on to the side. And we're going to stretch into your quadricep muscle. So try to relax the leg. Draw the heel in towards the glute if you can. And so just remember, if you can't do that, that's fine. Just bend the knee and just maybe pop the hip a little bit forward. You'll feel a stretch here into the quadricep. And because you're not pulling into the foot here, you're gonna feel a little bit more of the contraction through the hamstring, because you have to use your hamstring to contract in order to lengthen your quadricep. Okay, so change it over to the other side. A nice stretch here. So just remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath in your stretches. Try to relax now. This is a nice time to just focus on the breath and focus through the stretches. Okay, and then relax. Okay, so we're gonna come into tabletop. So palms are underneath the shoulders, knees are under the hips. We're gonna round the back into a mad cat and then drop the belly down into a cow pose. This is good for the core stretching. And then again, you've got mad cat stretch and then cow pose stretch. And then mad cat stretch. And cow pose. And then coming back to the tabletop position. And then coming into just a comfortable seated position, we're gonna just focus on a few upper body stretches. So nice big reach up towards the sky. And then lower down, rounding out the upper back a little. And then again, lifting all the way up, big stretch. And then down again. And then inhale, lift up. And then as you lower the arms down into the next stretch, I'm gonna have you just connect them behind the back here and draw the fingertips or interlock the fingers together and just roll the shoulder blades together and try to think about relaxing through your upper trap muscles. So they just settle in down the back. And then we're gonna roll it forward. So opening the back, drop the chin to the chest, stretching the neck. And then let's relax, and we'll do a few of the rotations through the elbows. And in the other direction. And then a couple rotations through the wrists. And in the other direction. All right, guys. Okay, good job today. You guys totally killed it. That was a big program, total full body, a little bit of weights, a little bit of body work, and some core in there, along with a nice mix of cardio. So good job for showing up today, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.